Hello, good morning. This is Isaac from the Auto Intuitive channel, and thank you for joining me. Here we have a 2024 BMW X1, just came out in 2023, and here we have a 2024 BMW X3. So the reason why I have these two together is because perhaps the buyer is looking at them because they're fairly similar in dimensions if you are a single person who likes practical, and which one would you go for? So they do have different characters. The one on the right, the X3, is mainly rear-wheel drive. So this one, it does have an intelligent all-wheel drive system. The engine sits long ways underneath the hood, and it can send up to 100% of power to one wheel. It is slightly larger than the X1. As you could see, if I move to the side, you can see the X1 completely disappears. See that? It swallows it just barely. Another thing about the X3 is that this car has been around since, sorry about the plane, it's been around since 2018, and this is the LCI, so this is facelift, as I would call it. So it still looks nice and fresh. It has 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque with an 8-speed ZF. This thing over here is all brand new. Does not match a 2022 X1. I believe actually they stopped making it in 2022, but I may be wrong. I know 2021s exist, and they don't look anything like this. So this is all new from the ground up. It has a lot more power now. It used to have 228 horsepower. Now it has 241 horsepower. And it used to have 250 pound-feet of torque. Now it has 295 pound-feet of torque. The torque on the X1 matches its bigger sibling, the X3, at 295 pound-feet. And let's see from the side here. Just want you to see, well, the camera's not really doing what I want it to, but the X1 is slightly more narrow than the X3. So if I look at the X1, you can see there it has the hockey taillights there, and they're really they have some depth to them. They look 3D. Look at that, looks nice. And then over here I call these the ray guns, these taillights. Looks pretty cool as well from the LCI. So a 2021 X3 does not look like this, but the dimensions are identical because remember, this car came out in 2018. So what else is different? As you could see here, the door handles, it has the suitcase style door handles, versus on the X1 you have the flush door handles, as the current BMWs are coming out with, for better aerodynamics. These wheels, by the way, on the X3, they do have a hubcaps, that clip on to these wheels. So I'm not sure if many would agree on that being a good idea. And on the X3 you have these nice premium wheels. Makes it feel like a premium vehicle. Both of these cars are identical colors as well. And if you did see them in person, because they're slightly different shape, they almost look like different colors. The X3 looks more tan, and the X1 looks more milky white. And they're both the X-Line package, so they both have the silver around the windows. You can see the silver at the bottom of the bumper. And the X1's exhaust has disappeared. X3 is still showing its exhaust. The X1, I can only find the exhaust because it's freezing outside, and you can see it's dripping water on one side there. And same with the X3. By the way, one exhaust is open when you're not in sport mode, or if you're not past a certain RPM. So let's get inside. Oh, it's freezing. So, inside the X3. This has also been redone. This is nice and fresh, so it makes it feel up to date for 2024. On the X3, you do have Apple CarPlay, of course, and this is the iDrive 7. So the iDrive 7, there's plastic on front there, so I can't take that off because the car is brand new, so that red line really isn't ever there. But this car's on the iDrive 7. The X1 next to us is on the iDrive 8. and some of the cars are on iDrive 8.5. One thing the X1 is missing are these buttons, 1 through 8, which are lifesavers. You can set these for any page in the screen. And I do like how clean this climate bar is here with actual buttons. That will be missing in the X1. And down here, you do have buttons as well, and the gear lever in the X3. And you have all your drive modes up front, easy to read. Oh, there's something on there, huh? And then you also do have this auto stop start button. So this is to keep the engine on, which is missing in the X1. And in the X1, you only have one button that'll look like this, and that puts the car in park, and it also does the park and brake. But in the X3, you still have a parking button for your transmission here, and your park and brake is a separate lever. And also you can still shift with the gear lever. As you can see there, you move it down to D, and then you move it to the left, and it goes to M or S for manual. Another factor about the X3 that I still like is that it has the controller for the screen, which is my favorite way to work the screen. Otherwise, you're just getting fingerprints on it. This vehicle has paddles as well. I noticed in the X1, it won't have paddles. We'll be over there in a moment. But the X1 does come with paddles when you get it in the M Performance version, the M35i. These seats look nice and comfortable. These are the sensor fin seats, so they're not real leather, but nice and perforated, and you have the thigh extension, which will be missing in the X1. So, let's go in the X1. Here, I want to show you the door handle. So this is what the door handle looks like in the X3. Got a mental picture, and there it says X for an X vehicle. So let's go jump in the X1 because this video is already at 7 minutes. I'm just showing you differences in case you wanted to shop both of these cars. This is silver, by the way. That's not white, in case the video is not showing it. On this car, it's actually white, which matches the car as well. And you can see there's our flush door handles. Now, look at this door here. This door is up to date, I would say. I love this door because it has this here, which looks nice and fresh, and it has this nice handle here. Even the speakers look nice, and then you have this leather stitched. And remember, this is a base X1, and you have wood, so this one was built pretty nicely. Let's go ahead and turn off the climate here. It's a little loud. Bam, all climate off. See what I mean? I had to go in the screen to do the climate. There are no buttons for the climate in the X1, but I do like how clean these vents look. And you do have nice stitching on the dash as well. So an X1 now, I would say, feels more luxurious inside than an X3, but it is missing certain things like the buttons down here that a lot of BMW people love and have been used to. So we're missing the rotary that controls the screen. The screen is only a touch screen. And you can see here our parking brake. We don't have another area where we could put the transmission in park, because if you turn off the car, it'll put the car in park, but it won't put your parking brake on. But if you press the parking brake, it'll do both. And then you have your My Modes. Remember in the X3, right over there, your modes, you had Comfort, Sport, Comfort, Economy. You had Hill Descent Control button. So some of this stuff are in the screen. I do like the design. I do appreciate this design, and you could put stuff under here. And there is a wireless charger, if the car is optioned with it, that sits here, and your phone can sit up facing you. Of course, you shouldn't be looking at your phone while driving. In the car, you have the iDrive 8. So in some of the cars that came with iDrive 8, they've moved on to iDrive 8.5. In the X1, I hear they'll be moving on to iDrive 9 because it uses a different software. A Linux software, I hear, or something like that. No, actually, the 8.5 uses Linux. This one uses an Android-based. Anyways, someone clear that up for me. Not important right now. You can see we don't have paddles. The paddles are missing. and the gear lever's missing, so you can't shift here in the X1 and you can't shift here, but in the M235 it has paddles. I do like this new steering wheel. This is a nice, much better chunky steering wheel than in the X3. It's more up to date. And yeah, so, and oh, thigh extension. Thigh extension's missing in the base X1. But I just wanted to make this video, 10 minutes. Let's look around back again. There's our X3 there. And here's our X1. Which one would you guys be picking and why? This one's mainly front wheel drive, and it is an all-wheel drive, intelligent all-wheel drive system, and it has a 7-speed dual clutch. Completely different personality to the X3, which has an 8-speed ZF, Steptronic, or whatever you'd like to call it. The X1, also the engine is sitting this way. It's sitting transverse. It's sitting sideways underneath the hood. Where in the X3, it's sitting long ways. But which one of these cars, and you can see the X1 now has a bigger grille than the X3. X3's grille fits it pretty nicely. This one might be a little overkill, but which one of these cars would you guys pick